Hey everyone, welcome. This is my first video of hopefully many more to come. It's on something I love to do, and that is barbecuing. Love to barbecue. And not only am I a professional, however, I decided to start posting these videos in hope of perhaps helping somebody or anyone that is new to the grilling scene, or perhaps has recipes that they would like to share, and I might be able to give you guys some pointers, or you guys can share some pointers with me. So today I am going to smoke a cross rib roast. And as of right now, I don't own a video camera, I just have a simple web camera, so we're going to have to settle for pictures uploaded, and you could probably just imagine the smell. So first thing that you want to do is to get yourself a nice cross rib roast. And I used, it was about a 6-pounder, maybe a little less. I don't remember exactly what the size was, but it was pretty big. Now before you smoke this bad boy, you're going to want to rub it. I usually let my roast sit from anywhere from 12 to 18 hours before I put it on the grill. This gives herbs and spices or whatever you are going to put in it to seep into the meat and make it taste really good. Now, so I start by running extra virgin olive oil, or as I like to call it, EVOO. Take a small amount, like a dime size, and put it on the roast. You're going to want to rub it all over the roast. Just every side you want to rub it all over the roast. Not too heavy, you just want to use a little bit, and so you want to use it sparingly. So after that, you want to get yourself some Worcestershire sauce. You want to do the same thing. You just use about a dime size, and you just want to rub it over all of the meat. And you want to do that sparingly because you don't want that flavor to be overwhelming. So next, you want to make a rub. Now, you can buy a rub from the store, or you can make a rub. Personally, I like to make a rub. There are all kinds of videos over on the net, YouTube, tutorials everywhere that you can make for a beef rub. So what I like to do is I have plenty of spices in my cabinet, and so I make my own rub. And the picture will come up here in a second. So after that, you rub this all over the roast, completely all over it. You want to get in the nooks and crannies, and I like to do it a lot of rub, because it's going to sit. And I let mine sit for 12 to 18 hours. So it's going to be the next day or possibly the next morning. Depends on how long I want it to sit. So you put it in your fridge and you let it sit. You put tin foil over it, put it in the fridge, let it sit. Now this is going to make your fridge smell really, really good. So the next part is the next day. You're going to put some coals in the hopper of your grill. For my grill, about 20 to 25 coals is the magic number. I like to get my grill to be heated up to 200 to 250. So I'll start the grill them all together, and I'll light it, and then I'll place them apart so I can put my wood chunks on it. So about 20 to 25 of those hot coals, and then I'll spread them out, and I like to use wood chunks. Some people like to use wood chips. Some people like to use a whole log. For me, I found out the best way to do it is with wood chunks. It helps me regulate the stove a little bit better, and to regulate that heat. So on this roast, I used hickory and pecan, and that also helps with the heat. So if you're having trouble regulating the heat, just use the vents that you have, the vent on the side and the smokestack on the top, and that'll help you regulate your heat. Also, what I like to do is I have 2 digital thermometers. The first digital thermometer is I put next to the meat to keep an eye on how hot it is, of course. The next one I put inside the meat. The thickest part of the meat, I put it right there in the middle, and that way I can keep an eye on that. And that's also a Bluetooth one, so I don't have to keep going out and checking it. I can check it on my phone. It doesn't have much of a range, but at least you don't have to sit in the heat of the day watching it, especially if you have a nice cool section of your yard, which I do. So you want to keep an eye on that, and remember to keep it between 2 and 250. That way you slow cook this meat. Now the wood chunks I use about 4 of them, and that gives you a nice steady smoke. Now if your smoke, you want it to be nice and white coming out that smokestack. If it's not white, you have a problem with your air, your ventilation there. So it's not a clean burn. You'll want to adjust those vents so they are nice and however you'll learn how to use these vents. It takes 2 or 3 pieces of meat to figure out how to use the vents, whether it's going to be too hot or too cool. You'll just have to learn to regulate that. After I put the briquettes on, after I put the wood chunks on, I like to put 5 or 6 briquettes on top of that fresh wood. That way, when the wood burns down, you still have a heat source. So I smoke the meat probably all throughout, except for the last hour of the cook. So it's got a nice pink ring around it, and it's really good. But you can use whatever flavor of wood you want to use. There are a lot of them out there. So, so the next thing you're going to want to do is as you're cooking the meat, you're going to want to turn the meat so it's cooked evenly on all sides. And you want to keep an eye on the temp, because if you don't keep an eye on your temp, then it's going to overcook, cook too fast, or you're going to have a cardboard for your meat. So it's really important to watch your meat. And also you want to do this low and slow. Low temperature, slow time. So this meat that we did was about 6 hours, and I cooked it to about 135. You want, for a medium rare, it's 135 to 140 on the temperature thermometer that I use, and that turned out medium. Well, actually, it turned out rare, almost medium rare, and my family likes rare to medium rare meat, so it turned out really good. And I will be posting the pictures here in just a second. So after you turn it and your meat gets to be your desired temperature, you want to take it off, rub it, put it in tin foil, put it in a cooler with ice, or put it in your fridge, and let it sit for about a half hour. And after that, you're going to want to cut that bad boy open and eat it. Anyway, so if you have any questions, just place a comment, or if you have any ideas or anything, place a comment, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.